It is Talking Reds. Happy Wednesday, wherever in the world you are watching. I am John Gibbons. I'm joined by Josh Sexton and by Craig Hannan to talk about things going on for Liverpool Football Club. And obviously, there's a game tonight. Liverpool's Carabao Cup journey starts. They won it last year. It was good fun.
It was good fun. I love this competition. I know it's one of those where like people poke fun at and sort of see as, you know, probably the bottom of the rung in terms of importance, but like I love watching new footballers, and particularly at the beginning of the season, getting to see some of the players that we saw pre-season but haven't really seen since. I like winning the thing. Like, you know, it was probably the most enjoyable day out we had last season, and you know, we had won a couple of seasons before that as well with Jurgen, so I'm in it to win it, and I'm excited to see some of the players that we haven't seen at the start of the season.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. The in it to win it thing, I mean, I'm always interested in. If you're going to do something sort
winning's good, isn't it?
Yeah, winning is good. Loads of fun. Days out, I like them. But just on the point of what Craig talked about, you know, seeing new players and things like that, I think that's what I'm looking forward to tonight. Obviously, we're a long way, you know, from the sort of the final at the moment, although we're a little bit closer than you know some of the others because we're in Europe and where you're entered. But I think, you know, for now, it should, and I'm sure will be seen as an opportunity for some players who haven't been playing as much, you know, to stake their claims. You know, people like Endo, Curtis Jones, who haven't had the start yet in the league. Maybe Chiesa as well. Joe Gomez hasn't sort of had the start yet. These sorts of guys will be thinking, well, I want to show that I'm ready for the manager. And then maybe, possibly off the bench, a couple of young lads as well.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is a competition which has, you know, made heroes for Liverpool in recent years in scenarios where you probably wouldn't expect heroes to be made. Like I remember the game against Leicester at Anfield, and Minamino makes himself a bit of a hero that night. And of course, Diogo Jota goes on to win the game in a spell in which he's, you know, not really one of the most important players in Liverpool's side, which feels sort of far cry from where he is now as Liverpool's, you know, starting number 9. But you imagine he probably features again tonight and relishes that opportunity to be able to feature and to be able to play in a competition which has been good to them in the past. And then like you mentioned, the young players as well. Like I'm dead excited by the prospect of seeing Traoré only get some minutes tonight. I don't imagine it'll be from the start as much. I was sort of begging for it to be from the start on our pre-match warm-up yesterday. And then the new lad Chiesa, like it'll be one of those atmospheres at Anfield, and the atmosphere at Anfield has been talked about a lot in recent times, and I'm never sort of one to get really too swept up in the whole narrative of that, to be honest. But it will be, you know, a relatively refreshed crowd, because it'll be a lot of people who probably don't go to most of the league games, and it'll be quite a bit of a younger crowd. You'd imagine it usually is for these early Carabao Cup games, and that's you know, a crowd which will want to be lifted by the likes of Chiesa, who's a new sign, and the likes of Traoré, who's obviously such an exciting young prospect. So yeah, I feel like there's excitement all around going into it.
Yeah, I'm with Josh. You know, I'd love to see Leone, but he probably is more likely on the bench. What's interesting is Liverpool played last night under 21s in the, I always call it the Czechoslovakia Trophy. I don't think they've sponsored it for years, but fair play to them. But that mad trophy where our youth team enters against sort of proper teams, and normally get beat. But they drew last night. They drew with Harrogate. But what was interesting about the team was that Tyler Morton doesn't play and Traoré doesn't play, and so that suggests they'll be involved, not necessarily starting tonight, but sort of be around the squad. And it'd be, you know, good to see, you know, some of them and see how they're developing. You know, we watched a bit of Traoré out on the tour, and you know, he sort of really impressed. And you'd imagine that the manager is keen to sort of use him, you know, when possible, and tonight maybe is a when possible.
Yeah, the Carling Cup's the perfect one, isn't it? No, he was the shining light of the pre-season, wasn't he? He was the one that I suppose took us a little bit by surprise. For me as well, where he was playing, I thought he was going to play further forward. No, obviously we saw him in deeper lying positions as well. He just looked so exciting. He obviously gets the goal at Anfield as well, and I think you're right, I don't see him starting tonight. I think he probably gets sort of 20 minutes at the end, but he's only 17 years old, and he'll have, you know, a lot more opportunities hopefully in this cup competition. I just think the League Cup's a great opportunity for the wider squad to get minutes, and for some of the young players to get that experience, and that really sort of helps feed into the league campaign. I think you know, we've got a really strong squad, and I know we didn't make as many signings as we had liked. We're going to get to see the one that we did tonight, but it feels as if pardon me, it feels as if, you know, staying in this competition and giving players like Bradley and Quansah, Enzo, and keeping these players fresh in case there are any injuries, or in case we're going to need to sort of rely on them at any stage in any of the other competitions. And I think Tyler Morton's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he's one that we expected to leave, and I'd imagine they keep him because he sent Bajcetic out on loan, and so he's going to have to get minutes somewhere, I think. But I think tonight's lineup, I think it'll be pretty much as you'd expect in terms of the second 11, if that makes sense.
Is there anyone from the terms of the first team you'd have sort of nowhere near it? Because, you know, he'll want maybe a few on the bench who've been playing, you know, sort of just in case sort of he needs them, but he'll be aware that it's a tough run between now and Christmas in terms of, you know, there's 3 more Champions League games, there's obviously league games sort of every weekend and things like that, and so you might take the opportunity to rest a couple. You know, is there anyone for you who you'd be like, put your feet up, lad, watch it at home, we'll see you tomorrow?
Poor Alexi McAllister for me, just because I feel like he honestly plays all the football in the entire world, and he's the one where I think, you know, particularly the back end of last season, you really started to see that sort of telling in his legs a bit. Like as Liverpool's collective legs fell off, he was probably the one who stood out the most for a couple of games after. But then even when his fell off, you're like, oh, the wheels have probably come off this season now. If even Alexi McAllister is starting to feel it, so he feels like the one who has, you know, really been sort of tested in terms of the most minutes. And then Mo Salah is like always another one. I think Jurgen's been a bit sort of funny in this competition in the past with the way he picked teams, where you'd usually try and drop in like a Mo Salah or a Virgil van Dijk almost to be like the sort of adult in the team, if you will. I don't imagine Slot will do that because he's been much more sort of incremental in his rotation, and I think it's building up to games like this where you can make a couple more sort of wholesale changes, with the idea being that because you've been incremental in your rotation before, there'll be lads who've had minutes and had rhythm in their legs. Like I'm looking at tonight and thinking, you know, Costa Tsimikas surely starts, but he's had quite a lot of minutes already this season, so he should feel like he's sort of fit and firing and ready to go. And then there'll be a couple of others around that too. Curtis Jones has had quite a lot of minutes off the bench here and there too, so that they should feel like they're ready to go in this one. And then I mentioned before Diogo Jota, I expect to see him because Nunes starts at the weekend and Jota doesn't even get on in the end.
Yeah, no, all sorts of options. On McAllister, you know, you'd be one who I'd sort of be leaving out completely tonight because he plays a lot of minutes internationally as well, so he always seems to start for Argentina. There's obviously the extra travel from it being an Argentina element, so I think that's a great shout in terms of, you know, just taking this opportunity to not even have them on the bench. Anyone for you who you're thinking like you just tell them to leave it alone tonight?
McAllister, Gravenberch as well. I just think, you know, considering the number of minutes he's played, I'd say Van Dijk as well. I talked up the excitement of this competition for me personally anyway, and getting to see all of these new players and or all of these players that we haven't got to see. But, you know, I also want to use it as an opportunity to rest the likes of these two, because, you know, there are much bigger games, and so, you know, particularly in the middle of midfield with Gravenberch and McAllister, they just feel like the two that I'm certain on. It just feels like a really good opportunity for loads of the forwards to get some goals. You know, that's what I want to see tonight. I really want to see Darwin Núñez build on what he did at the weekend. I think that's something that during his Liverpool career he sort of struggled to do. Like, you know, you talk about Jota being a streaky forward, but Núñez has never been that. He never seems to be able to, when he gets the 2 against Newcastle, I think he scores maybe in the next home game, or he hits the post, and then after that he doesn't score for a bit. Same when he scores the last minute winner at Forest. I think he scores once in between that period where he just scored. So, you know, I want to see him on the goals, and someone like Gakpo as well. It was brilliant in Milan last week, and can sort of feel aggrieved that he doesn't get a start. But then, you know, Liverpool have a wealth of options up top, so it feels like a really good opportunity for those, while also being able to, you know, rest players further back on the pitch.
Yeah, no, I think that is all fair, and I think Virgil, it makes complete sense because we are strong there as well. You know, if he picks Gomez and Quansah as centre halves, which I think he will, and I think he should this weekend, then you maybe got Canati on the bench. You know, should sort of anything happen, or for, you know, for the defensive cover, and that's really strong. Do you know what I mean? That they're all 3 really good players, and Virgil can watch it with a cup of tea at home. I think that sort of makes complete sense.
Yeah, massively, and particularly for Quansah as well, like getting a little bit of sort of redemption after he starts the season, and then it lasts sort of 45 minutes, and it feels like a little bit cruel on him, but like the way he spoke about it, he understood the reasons why. And, you know, his Slot has been a little bit ruthless in terms of like the way he's brought the few changes that he has made, he's made big decisions and he's not been afraid to, if things aren't going the way he's the way he's wanted. And Gomez as well. Like Gomez in pre-season, like no one seems to want to talk about him as if he's a centre back, and like he was the pairing that we win the league with in 2019-20. So like I feel as if he can be a really good option. Obviously, look, he comes close to leaving in the summer, but like, you know, I'd love nothing more than for him to put in a brilliant performance tonight and people be talking about him in the conversation, because he sort of feels as if he's like being a little bit left behind at the moment. He comes on in Milan maybe he comes on,
right back,
and it's a bit of a surprise, but again, like, you're looking at right back and seeing Bradley come on for the last 20 minutes of games and Slot seemingly really liking him. You get Trent as well there. It just feels like there's a little opportunity for Gomez if he can take it tonight.
You mentioned cases there before. He's probably going to get a start. I think the manager sort of hints at that and says, he's ready to start, but we're not sort of quite 90. So you'd think, you know, having done a decent little cameo sort of at the weekend, he gets his start. And I'm really looking forward to watching him, and it's great for the fans who are there. Like you said, it's a little bit of a different crowd for the League Cup games. You know, some of the maybe season ticket holders, you know, either, you know, don't sort of bother with it or whatever, or there's tickets that are sort of passed on, and I know it's an opportunity. I know a few people who are sort of taking, you know, their kids tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it. And so for them, they're getting the first, you know, glimpse from a starting point of view of Chiesa, and that's just another thing to make the night, I'm sure, even more exciting for them.
100%, and you see it in his cameo of the weekend. There's a lot to be excited about with him there as well. Like I was almost surprised with how much energy he came onto the pitch with, because Slot keeps really, you know, tempering expectations around his fitness, and he did it again in the press conference yesterday. But you watched him come onto the pitch against Bournemouth at the weekend, and he was like a live wire, wasn't he? He was all over the place. He hits the post with one. He's really getting in behind. He's really trying hard to get on the ball as well. So I'm dead excited to see him get that first opportunity tonight. The question then sort of becomes like, who, if he's just locked in or pre-programmed in for 60 minutes, who is the person who comes off the bench for the last 30? You know, Craig mentions whether it'll be Darwin who starts tonight or Diogo. You'd imagine it's maybe one of them who gets a share of the minutes, because we're quite lucky in the sense that we've got really versatile forward options, don't we? Like it says a lot that like there's basically four positions I could imagine Chiesa starting in tonight. Like he comes on in the number 9 position and in the game at the weekend. So really versatile forward options. And David Chalmers put in the comments there that he feels sorry for Harvey Elliott, because this would have been one where you'd had Harvey Elliott absolutely like guaranteed to be in for it.
Might have started in Milan as well.
Exactly. There's another comment from Guru Bashi who says Szoboszlai needs a rest, and that's the thing. Like, because Harvey Elliott is not fit for this one, you almost can't afford to completely rest Szoboszlai. Like he's going to have to, you know, at least be on the bench if not starting this one, because we need those options at number 10. So maybe that's where a bit of the versatility will sort of help out. Maybe there's somebody else that Slot sees being able to play the number 10 there. That's where personally I've been lobbying for Trey Naoni to get some minutes at least. As Craig said, it's pretty unlikely that he does start this one, but it feels like there's definitely opportunities there for some of the sort of, you know, newer lads in and around the first team squad, and then as you both mentioned, lads like Joe Gomez who've been in and around it for a while but maybe fallen a little bit out of favour.
Yeah, I mean, on the attacking midfield role, it's interesting he takes Szoboszlai off on 60. I think that's half an eye on, you know, maybe tonight, but also just sort of, you know, taking the opportunity to protect him a little bit, because, like Josh says, you know, it feels like everyone's got an understudy in the squad at the moment, and it's 2 for every position, and Szoboszlai is injured at the moment, and so I think he's the one to be extra careful with. I think he'll be from the bench, but an interesting option for the manager tonight is they could go with 4 forwards and just ask for one of them to be a little bit more withdrawn, because we've obviously all made an argument for Chiesa starting, and you know, the manager sort of suggested he will. You know, we've mentioned Jota and sort of getting a start. I'd imagine Gakpo will start, but Nunes has hardly been overplayed, has he? Do you know what I mean? He's in a situation, gets his goal at the weekend. You know, he's sort of withdrawn in that way. In that game, I'm sure Nunes is, you know, itching to sort of go again as well. So there's a possibility that he goes with Nunes up top, Gakpo left, Chiesa wide, and then ask Jota to be a bit more withdrawn. And if he does that, then, well, fucking all the kids will be dead excited, because they fucking love strikers.
all the kids and Craig, by the way. You're talking to him like, get me in.
Are we kids?
Yeah. I think you're spot on. We all talked about the players that we wouldn't risk, but like actually Szoboszlai, because there isn't really an understudy for him, it feels really important he doesn't start this game. Like maybe he's one I wouldn't have involved at all, and that's one where you maybe can bring Trey Naoni in. I think you're right when you think about it. Like, you want to get as many of those forwards on the pitch, and so doing and 4 feels the obvious sort of choice. I think he probably keeps Gakpo left. Like he during Klopp, he would have been the one that you'd have said, yeah, he'll play that sort of 10 role. But you know, given his performance at Milan, I just want him to be able to build on previous performances. Same a bit with Nunez, but like, and give him a role and say this is where you're going to play, and go from there. Obviously, it's a really tough one for him because we've seen how well Diaz has done this season. So it's not exactly one where you can go and make it your spot. But it feels like number 9 will be for like Nunez, Jota, and Chiesa, that will all sort of be going for it. I think you're right. I think maybe Jota plays slightly deeper, given the way he's able to play and his ability. And yeah, that's a really, really exciting 3 or 4, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Endo and Jones slotting in behind them. But we shall see. Listen, we've got loads more out on the Anfield Wrap. Looking forward to tonight's game. So there's pretty-much warm-up. Did you host that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I'm sure you did a sterling job.
Stepped in for the big dog while he's sunning his paws somewhere.
He's like Virgil van Dijk, isn't he? You know what I mean? We'll just like give him a break while we can. Give him a little rest while we can. And so, audio and video. Looking ahead to the game is all available on the app, so it's a great time to subscribe. And then straight after the game, as ever, we'll be doing our immediate post-match reaction from a couple of pubs around Anfield as well. So audio and video, that'll all be taking place hopefully after another Liverpool win. That would be great, wouldn't it? But if you want to sort of subscribe, download the app, get stuck in, and we think that the content is absolutely fantastic at the moment. We think unrivaled in terms of supporters sharing the journey from right here in the heart of the city. So do encourage you to get in. Just before we move on to other matters, I just want to give a huge shout out to NordVPN, who are partnering with us with this run of Talking Reds at the moment. It's great that we were able to bring it back. I think we've all really enjoyed it, but one of the reasons why we're able to do extra free video content is because of partners like Nord. So thanks a lot to them. And I know quite a lot of you have signed up using the fantastic offer that they're giving us, which you can find at nordvpn.com/TAW. That's nordvpn.com/TAW. They're giving you a great deal. It's 4 months extra as part of your bundle, and there's loads of benefits, including the fact that you can now use it on up to 10 devices. So if you've got a big family or you've got a lot of different sorts of devices, phones, iPads, all the shebang, you can get all of them signed up with one NordVPN service. And it gives you things like extra peace of mind, it gives you extra protection, the privacy settings when you're travelling and logging on in strange places. Josh going out in America, internet cafe. Are internet cafes still a thing? If they are, if they are, Josh was in them. He loves them.
Just a cafe now.
Yeah. Where's your nearest internet cafe, please? He's in there. I love a life over there. And I know, obviously, when Josh was over in America, he didn't want to miss his favourite UK shows as well. So what you're able to do with NordVPN is that you change your virtual location on the click of a button. So if you are, say, in America, doing some stuff like Josh has been, or anywhere on the travels, Ian Ryan, son and himself, he's able to keep on in touch with his favourite shows back home by switching that to the UK. And there's obviously the opportunity to do it the other way around as well. So if there's certain sporting events that are on telly in other countries but aren't on telly where you are, which happens quite a lot in the UK on a Saturday afternoon, you can change your virtual location, switch that to another country where that sporting event is being shown. And if you've got a way of watching that, like another subscription to something that is showing that, you can do that. And it is that easy. So yeah, lots of you are enjoying it. Thanks a lot if you have signed up, and thanks a lot to NordVPN for partnering with us. Just a couple of other things to mention as well. There's a lot of opportunities to hang out with us at the moment. Lucky you. So we've been over to Edinburgh. Huge thanks to everyone who came to that live event. Me and Craig were there. It was great to see a packed full room on a Monday night, full of a lot of smiling faces, a lot of old friends, met some new ones as well. So that was great. And I know Neil went straight from there to London. Me and Craig went there last night, but I've heard it went really well. So if you went to one of those shows, I hope you enjoyed it. But tomorrow night we're at the Beer Keller. There is still tickets available for that. So if you want to come to Neil's book launch, it's actually being released tomorrow as well. So that is the day it's out. The first part of the show will be all about the book, and the second part of the show will be a good old-fashioned Anfield Wrap live with a cast of quite a few. I think it is being sort of rolled out there to do that. So really looking forward to that. And then Friday we're off to Belfast, your spiritual home.
Can't wait.
Or just home.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, we're
Spiritually and literally.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Yeah, we're doing the Friday night as well. So if anyone watches that, the Friday night with Verding, we're going to be filming it in Lavery's. It's quite exciting in Belfast. We're doing our live show there. There's about 20 tickets left for that. We've got it's similar. So Neil and his book and Jurgen, the Anfield Wrap live show afterwards, and then we've got Keo as well playing Liverpool songs and live music at the end. We've also got the room afterwards. I know the last time we did Belfast, we were like sort of rushed out of the room, which is a bit annoying. But this time we'll have a room, so we'll be staying about, having a pint with everyone, and yeah, it's Friday night, so we'll be out in Belfast together. So no, it's really exciting.
Yeah, so a couple of opportunities there, Liverpool and Belfast. I'd also want to mention next Wednesday as well, which is the Liverpool-Bologna game. We're going to be doing something actually for all the Champions League homes in this group stage. We're going to have a bit of a subscriber, generally just listener, viewer, meet-up in the afternoons. So it's something that we actually used to do pre-COVID, and it was really good fun. So I know a lot of people either come into Liverpool for these Champions League games, travel in, or just, from Liverpool, want to knock off work early, have a couple of beers with a few other Liverpool fans, and then maybe travel up to the game together, or just somewhere to watch it. And so we've brought it back. We've got in touch with our friends at Gravity Max, who said they'd love to sort of host us, which is brilliant as well, because obviously it's a fantastic space. It's family friendly. There's loads to do. If you are coming with kids, I know sometimes people aren't really sure about bringing them to sort of pubs or whatever. So this is something for everyone, really. Gravity Max, the stuff there for the kids to do, any young people, but for us older ones who just want to sit and have a beer and maybe watch some sports on the big screen, there's absolutely loads of that as well. So before the game against Bologna, I think 4 till 7 we're going to be in Gravity Max. You'll find us, don't worry, we'll be upstairs. Go past the go-karts, don't go on straight away, just come in and see us, and we'll be upstairs having a beer. It'll be lovely to see a few old friends, and like I said before, make a few new ones as well. So if you are in Liverpool next Wednesday for the Liverpool-Bologna game, come down to Gravity Max first, have a beer or a soft drink or whatever it is you want, a big massive slushy, they do them. Feel free to sort of stuck in to those. Don't go too mad on the slushy gear though.
Heavy gear.
You get brain freezes, don't you? Fucking heavy then.
That's the last thing you want pre-match.
No.
But yeah, I can't believe the first thing we've had the warnings on are the slushies. All the mad things we've encouraged over the years. Do slushy responsibly. But yeah, that's Gravity Max next Wednesday. I think that's everything that's going on at the moment. We're busy, aren't we?
Yeah. Buy Neil's book. Launch week. Launch is tomorrow. That's the only thing really. But yeah, up the Reds.
Yeah. Just before we go, it's been a really good start to the season. I'll go to. Oh, it's great. Josh is chatting.
Sorry, I'm commenting.
I know you do work. It's been a really sort of great start to the season in terms of what Liverpool have shown on the pitch. There's the obvious blip for us, but I think it's fair to sort of call it a blip now, because they've won the sort of 2 after that. Tonight isn't crucial in terms of the success of the season, but keeping winning going is good. Winning is a habit. The players who maybe haven't featured too much, them coming in and winning will be really good. Obviously for the crowd who are going tonight and have paid the money to go and are looking forward to it, it'd be really exciting to see them win. And then you just are another step closer to Wembley as well. And I always think for a manager, winning a trophy early is good. Certainly at a club like Liverpool, winning a trophy early is a real positive thing. I think it's a real sort of show of intent. And so for the whole host of reasons I go through tonight, I hope we go through tonight, but one of them is with sort of half an eye, then maybe develop an eye over what could be last weekend of Feb, I think it is, that League Cup final.
Yeah, massively. Look, last season I felt it was really important for Liverpool because it was the beginning of Liverpool 2.0, and they win the first trophy that's available to them, and Van Dijk gets to lift his first trophy as manager, and this season it's the first for Slot, and I think you're right. I think it can catapult a season really. That's what I was meaning earlier, that the whole squad feels involved in a season, and that helps sort of benefit the league games as well, as long as you're able to stave off injuries, and then to win something earlier in the season would feel brilliant for the manager, and so yeah, it's it's an opportunity. Look, it's a bit harder this time because obviously we're playing against West Ham and it's Premier League opposition, and they haven't had the greatest of starts to season after seemingly winning the transfer window. Everyone wanted to talk about how well they've done. Did you see they had the sporting director on at the weekend chatting about like how happy he was with all the signings? They're shit.
What about your point sticker?
Yeah. Where's the manager? Why is he not here? But so they might go strong tonight just because the manager will need something, and so it might be a bit more difficult. But Liverpool have a really strong squad. They've got really, really good players in that sort of second string, and it's it's there only are 4 trophies to win, and I want to win one of them at least. So yeah, I want it most of all for Slot, obviously.
I mentioned before as well, like this is a trophy which given us like such good memories down the years, and I mentioned some of those like heroes we had in the early rounds. But you think about the fact that Slot's already confirmed that Kelleher's going to start tonight. Kelleher's been such a hero for us in this competition. Past me, literally scored a penalty in one of the finals.
A hero at the weekend. He was brilliant.
Exactly. That's like it feels like time and again he's able to come in from the cold basically and step up. But then we've mentioned the younger lads there as well. That trophy that Craig was talking about there for Liverpool last season. That sort of idea of it being Liverpool 2.0. You could go even further than that, like the likes of Jayden Dans and players like that, James McConnell, who may well be huge parts of Liverpool's future beyond what we're seeing right now. That's a trophy that they can hold on to forever. And you see the picture they all get together after the game with Trent sort of tweeting out with the homegrown thing and things like that. Like it's a competition that's been really good to Liverpool, and as much as the idea of going on and winning it this season, Gibbo, is the idea of defending it as well. Like it's ours, so I'd like to keep hold of it.
Yeah.
Also, Bobby Clark, by the way, he leaves Liverpool in the summer and gets to leave with a medal in his back pocket and haven't been a massive part of it. So some of these players actually, it becomes like the pinnacle of the career. I'm not saying that'll be the case for Bobby Clark, but there's been a lot of those over the years that they have this big moment. So yeah, more big moments for young players and fringe players.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully there'll be a big moment for the few lads tonight. Not least, Chiesa, who we're all hoping will make his debut. But like I say, straight after the game, we'll be doing our post-match reaction. But hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you've got stuck in the comments. Nice of Josh to bring a couple in there, and I hope you enjoy this evening. But thanks a lot to Josh, to Craig. For you guys to watch it, to NordVPN, that link again, nordvpn.com/TAW if you want to go and have a look. But up to beds and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bring your digital life to a whole new level with NordVPN. Choose the fastest VPN on the planet and explore the internet without interruption.